We are doing Unit 10 review. So I'll probably have two videos. We'll be doing law of sines and law of cosines. So you can go through this before you take the test and do better at the test. Okay, hope you have your calculators handy because we're going to be using them for sure. First part says find each missing length to the nearest tenth. So first thing you have to determine when you're finding lengths are, do I use the law of sines or the law of cosines? And it doesn't say which of the two, so you have to figure it out. I always check and see, well, I have two of the three angles. And of course, you want to check to see if you can use law of sines first. Law of sines is much easier than law of cosines, so it's a preferable method if you can find a ratio of one opposite side to one angle, that you have both the side measure and the opposite angle. And in this case, we have two of the three angles, and so we're in good shape for law of sines. I'm going to use my pen. I hope some got crazy colored pens. I don't know why, but oh well. So 180 minus 54 plus 77. So that's going to give us our third angle. I like to just throw it in the calculator like that. Or you can add 54 plus 77, of course, and then subtract it from 180. Whoops. So that's going to be 49. So that gives us our other angle measure, which we needed. Therefore, we have this angle and the opposite side that we have measures for. So that's going to help us using our law of sines, which is awesome. So we'll have sine 49 over its opposite side is equal to, now this side right here is opposite this angle. So sine 49 over 30 is going to equal the sine of 54 over x. All right? So now you have it all set up. You can cross multiply. X times the sine of 49 is equal to 30 times the sine of 54. All right. Now, again, we're looking to solve for x here. It's being multiplied by a number, just a number, sine 49. So you're going to divide by it. Divide by sine 49. And that gives you x is equal to 30 times the sine of 54 over the sine of 49. In degrees. All right, again, I would use your calculator. I would show you, but I'm not going to, we've already done this. So you just take 30, use your N over D button so you have a fraction. And then on the top of the fraction, 30 times the sine of 54, finish off your parenthesis over sine 49. All right, that's going to be your least bet for making mistakes. X is approximately 32.159. Okay, and it's a side measure, so it's just in units. We'll just leave it like that. All right, next one. We could probably use the law of sines again because we have two of the three angles, which is awesome. So we can take 180 and subtract 27 plus 110. So 180 minus 137. So 180 minus 137 is going to be 43. So this angle is 43 degrees. And that gives us our third angle. And that also allows us, we have this side, which is opposite this angle. And then we have this side and angle that are opposite each other, which is nice. So that means we can use law of sines. So we'll do sine of the 27 degrees over 16 is equal to the sine. Let's see what's across from the x, 110. Sine 110 over x. And that gets us all set up. So that means x times the sine of 27 degrees is equal to 16 times the sine of 110 degrees. And then you can divide by the sine of 27 degrees. And you've got it. X is 16 sine of 110 over sine of 27. All right, in the calculator, do alpha y equals 1 or your N over D. 16 sine 110 over sine 27. And x is approximately 33.118 units. And that's an approximate sign, like an equal sign, but approximately. All right, good to go. The next one, it looks like, what are we trying to find? Find each missing link. So we were given x, and we're given x here. It looks like we're in trouble. We're going to have to use a lot of cosines. And that's because we don't have an opposite side and an angle. And we can't find a third angle. We don't have two of the three angles. So we're in a quandrum. We have the wrapper, what I like to call the wrapper, the side angle and the side. So anytime you see a wrapper, that's law of cosines. Which I don't like as much. I think it's more difficult, but we'll just go ahead. So x is equal to the square root of. All right, so we have the two sides, 30 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 30 times 14 times the cosine of that angle, 125 degrees. And again, we're just going to place this in the calculator, which I don't want to do, but I will. Oh, that's fine. I just don't, it covers up my time, which I don't like, but that's all right. Okay, so, I'd have to move this over so I can see what to plug in. Let's see. All right. So you're going to do the square root, big square root, and you can just plug it all in. You don't have to do any of the mathematical operations. Let your calculator do it. So 30 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 30 times 14 times the cosine of 125 degrees. All right, just plug it in like you see it. Hit enter, and you got your side measure, 39.722. 39.722. All right, and that's an approximation because we truncated, rounded, it's there. All right, number 4. Numbers 4 and 5. Let's try to do those before our time lets up. Now, in number 4, we have to actually draw our triangle. Now, don't freak out. Just draw a triangle and label it. And as long as you label it according to what it says, you're going to be fine. So just label an RST, a triangle. And then on measure of angle R, you're going to put 55 degrees. Our S is a side, it's 17. And then our T is a side, it's 9. And then you're going to find TS. I'm just going to put an X right there. All right, now that you've drawn it, you can analyze it, and you can see, oh, this is a wrapper, isn't it? We've got a side, an angle, and a side. So again, with the wrapper, it's a law of cosines. All right, so X is equal to square root of, and then the side squared and sum, 17 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 17 times 9 times the cosine of that angle between them, 55. And again, I'm not going to show you, but I'm just going to plug it into my calculator because I already showed you the last one. I'm sure you can do that now. You guys are smart like that. Calculators are your specialty. 2 times 17 times 9 times the cosine of 55. And that is, X is approximately 13.946. Awesome. All right. Number 5, it says find the missing angle. Again, we're going to have to use the law of cosines because we don't have any angle at all. So whenever we have no angle, it's a side, 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 and law of cosines is needed in order to come up with that angle. All right, so opposite squared equals, so opposite side squared is equal to the sum of the square of the sides minus 2 times 6 times 5 times each of the sides times the cosine of x degrees. And it's x that we don't know. When it's x, the angle that we don't know, we have to use second functions or inverse functions. So we have to solve for cosine x and then turn it into an inverse. So we're going to subtract 6 squared and 5 squared from both sides. That gives us on this side 7 squared, and then minus 6 squared minus 5 squared is equal to negative 2 times 6 times 5 times the cosine x degrees. And then remember, we're trying to solve for this, and it's being multiplied by this. We're going to multiply negative 2, divide by negative 2 times 6 times 5 so that they all go away. We have to do both sides. All right. And now we have cosine x equals that. So what we do is we write cosine inverse of all of that ratio. So 7 squared minus 6 squared minus 5 squared. Now I can multiply that in my head. It's negative 60. Usually there are numbers that are multiplying is pretty hard, so I don't usually do that, but this time I'm going to. Now in your calculator, I'm going to actually show you on this one. So Let's see. I need to see the numbers though. Maybe this will work. All right, so cosine inverse. So you're going to hit second cosine. And then you're going to hit your fraction. So you have n over d there. And then you'll just type in 7 squared minus 6 squared minus 5 squared. And that's going to be all over. And so just head down, negative 60. All right, and that's all you're going to do is you're just going to plug it in the calculator just like that. Makes it simple. So that angle is 78.5 degrees. So it's approximately 78.5 degrees. Not too bad, eh? All right, do we have time for the next one? This one says find the area of each triangle to the nearest tenth. Let's see. Let's see if we can just do this one, and we'll do the next three in the second part. Okay, so to find the area to the nearest tenth, we need a formula. And the formula is area equals 1/2, let's see, what is it? AB sine C. All right, so A and B sine C, it's a wrapper one again. If you recall, this angle and these sides become, this becomes A, this becomes B, and this is angle C, right? Because the opposite is little c. So you just have to plug in your numbers for the formula, which isn't too rough. You're going to have your area of the triangle is equal to 1/2 times the sides of that wrap the angle, so 15 and 8 times the sine of the angle between them. Okay, pretty easy. Plug that in the calculator. Remember, I just do 0.5 for 1/2, then times 15 times 8, and then sine 108. Plug, whoops, I didn't quite register the 8 for me. So 1/2 times 15 times 8, sine 108, and that is 57.063. And that's meters squared because it's an area of a triangle. Well, it's approximate area. Okay, so 57.063. All right, we're going to find the last angle and then do the two problems in the part 2, and you'll have your review.